You have a very, very special guest right here in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and the only Godons.
Yeah, the comedy Berlusconi.
Hallelujah.
Comedy Bellegini.
Berlusconi. Can you please go closer to the microphone so we can hear you clearly?
Yes. How you doing, bro?
We're fine. We're good. It's good to have you here. How do you feel? I mean, next year, at least based on little research I've done, next year makes it about 20 years in the game.
Yes, I've been 20 years in the game and still running. Still feel very young, inside and outside. You better believe it.
I see the Gen Z hoodie.
You got me.
Yeah.
How old do you think I am? I'm not that old. I'm just stressed.
I like that.
Stress brought by Nigeria or what?
I don't want to say it, but you know we're all stressed.
Right.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, talk to us. I mean, if there's one thing we know about you is, the stand-up comedy of you and all that. So I know that for 19 years, it's not been easy. What has kept you going? A lot of people have come within that period. Some have come, some have left. We can't even remember them like that. But you're still in the conversation.
Well, number one, I've been in the game here, like you said. By next year, I'm going to be 20. I didn't even have come that far. First of all, focus is very key in anything you do. And again, passion is another. Before you even get to destiny. Because even destiny can be ruined. But if you focus and you're determined, and then you can achieve your dreams. First of all, I made up my mind that I'm not going to do nothing else but this. Because if I be single, your whole body will be full of light. So I was very focused and I wanted to be this. I wanted to be anything but comedy in this world. Comedian in this world. So I gave it all. I gave my energy, my time. My family suffered for it. But I said, this is what I wanted to do. And here I am. I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good.
So
I feel very fulfilled that which I sacrificed for, all right, I'm eventually living the dream. Because in the spiritual realm, love is not emotion, love is sacrifice. So if you love anything, it's not shown in emotion. It's shown in sacrifice. And I have sacrificed my time, my energy, my family time, my resources to be this comedian called Godons the Berlusconi, and it's paying off and I'm living the dream. And I feel very good about that.
And we love that you are Godons. We love the gifts that you are to the comedy industry. Now, last I read about you, Godons, which was recently an interview you granted, you said that you were rebranding. You were going to make skits and take advantage of the social media space. How is that going? How is the rebranding going?
Well, the truth of the matter is, if you don't update, you'll be outdated. When the social media came, when we got into the era of the social media, and every younger comedian and even elderly comedian started doing skit, I didn't jump on it because you need to study the water very well before you do what you have to do. A lot of people came to me, oh, people are using your material to cash out. No, where that came from, we will say have many more.
Doesn't really lie.
So I am not being empowered by what I see. My own energy is from different source. So it is not because people are using my materials to cash out that should be a problem. Let me just study this terrain and know how to get into it. And finally, I got an idea how to position myself in the social media space. And right now, I have built the set. The set for that is ready. Anywhere from now, you're not going to be saying, Berlusconi is going to be doing stuff. You know, I like to do. I got it. You know, as I speak with you now, the energy is coming up. Already. It feels like I should just blow, but you say wisdom is profitable. Yeah.
Please don't blow our building. It's very important.
See, in a country where everything is falling, when you have an opportunity to enjoy yourself, you come all out.
That's true.
You come all out. You know, you see buildings, we've seen buildings fall, we see the Naira fall, we see Super Eagles fall, we see...
They don't rise. They're on the rise now. They're on the rise now.
We've seen a lot of... You know, thank God the president did not fall, which is very good for all of us.
Oh, he did at some point.
I know, I'm not aware.
Okay.
You know, so that's it. We got to do what we got to do. And in a country such as Nigeria, as a comedian, you cannot run out of joke because It just happened that things keep evolving, things keep happening.
Every time.
That will make you even write joke, because we have moved from the realm of telling joke to being a social commentator. And so you must have something to say about this country, like fuel problem, like government problem, like leadership problem. It's everywhere. Boko Haram is there, kidnapping is there, everything you can talk about. But my own job is to embellish, to make it acceptable and swallowable. That's my job as a social commentator. Yeah.
So you're kind of giving us clips on what you're going to do during the skits, what to expect.
You better
from
believe.
Your skits, okay.
You're not calling Berlusconi for nothing.
It's coming
better
up.
Believe it.
Okay, let's talk about your event coming up right now. To be good, I mean, I've watched you on stage from the days of Night of 1,000 Laughs up until now, and it's always a good thing to look forward to you doing your thing on stage. Tell us about your event coming up.
Well, my event is coming up this month, just like 12 days from now.
Okay.
Is something that I've always wanted to do. It will interest you to know that I have never done a special in Lagos before.
Interesting.
I have one.
So where you don't do specials?
In
I have been
years.
supporting people.
Wow.
I've been supporting people. I'm not supposed to fail because I've invested. I've supported everybody in this comedy industry. Name them. I've been on the platform for peanuts. Just support for the love of people and what we do. I've done that for the past 19 years. I haven't done a show in Lagos.
Wow.
I haven't. The first event I even attempted was the one that RMD gave to me, Worry Again. Made the Worry.
Yeah.
I did it once. That wasn't my show. That was RMD's show. And then I attempted to do one Comedy Island or something.
Yeah.
That was just very, very at the beginning. So from the time I came to Limelight, I got into Prime, and I got dominion over the space. Till now, I haven't done a show in Lagos.
Wow. Interesting. So
But I've just been supporting the brands that I think need my support. I do it 90% of the time for free. All right, just for the love of the act. So I felt I have been praying about this, and God inspired in my heart that it's about time for you to do your own event in Lagos. Because no matter how or where you blow, if you ain't blowing in Lagos, even if they put bomb in your mouth elsewhere, you won't blow.
I'm telling you.
Lagos is the capital of entertainment.
I feel this is about that time to also have a little slice of Lagos, and I want to come correct. I want to come fresh. I want to be able to do things I haven't done before. I still feel that energy. I feel very much ready. I feel encouraged, right? I just want the Lagos to see something new. Like one of the things I have done, I went outside this state to bring fresh materials that Lagos have not seen. Our comedians here, with due respect to everybody, we're almost running out of, materials. But I sought for younger boys that I know that are very hot. They are going to be performing on the show, and let Lagos feel a different kind of energy and delivery.
Okay.
And that will also be good for them. That's Lagos. If you're good, you're good. Lagos don't pretend about their choices.
Yeah.
If you're good, you're good. So I just want to, at least the standard now, I do 1 hour or more. The last one I did, the Port Harcourt, I do an hour 20 minutes. Yeah. An hour 20 minutes. It was smoking. When I watched it, I was like, wow, Berlusconi, you've been messing up. So I said, well, I got to do this. I've gone abroad. I've done an hour plus everywhere abroad. I've been there. Every other place in this country I've gone. Sometimes I do 2 hours on stage. Go on YouTube and watch.
Okay.
Those stuff I do, they are not even on my own show.
That's someone else's show.
Sometimes everybody may have performed, and now energy level is down, and people are ready to go. They call Berlusconi. First of all, you have to resurrect people. After resurrecting them, you have to inspire them. And then before you get into your own cruise.
You're really working overtime.
What? These guys drained my energy, man. And if I wasn't being resuscitated by Yahweh, forget it, man. I will not be here.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, you go through those processes, and then you then begin to cruise. And now you got your panache in place. You just want to prove a point. Say, look, at that game. Before you know it, you've done 2 hours.
2 hours, wow.
And guess what? Even those people you perform for, they will be the one to abuse you. That why did it take that long on stage?
Wow.
When you call this man at the dying minute to perform. So I still want to do same for my own show, at least do an hour.
So when is this event and where is it happening?
It's 22nd of September at the Bamura Hall, Federal Palace, VI Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it's happening.
All right, 22nd of September.
September, which is 2 Sundays from now.
How can people get tickets for this event?
Well, if you go to Ebano, all outlet of Ebano supermarket, you can get at Blenco, you can get, and then we have an online ticketers, ariaticket.com,
okay,
and Nara Box, Nara Box, and what other one? Ground Ticket, yeah.
Okay.
So you can go online and get your ticket.
All right, before we let you go, I need to get your reaction to this. So, your younger brother, Portable, maybe not.
My nigga.
Yeah, okay. So, he was recently in the news and he slapped a pastor because the pastor came to his bar to preach. And so he was like, you don't do this and all of that. So, what would be your reaction to that?
He came to the bar.
The pastor, this megaphone carriers.
The pastor came to
Portable's bar to preach.
Okay.
And so Portable said, Oga, come on here, you are driving customers. And in the process of, he was really angry and then he slapped him.
Okay, so what would be my take?
Yeah.
This is not the first time the gospel suffered that kind of persecution. Every other news you get in this world is bad news. The only news you will get that is called good news is the gospel. So you that is going to people's bar to go preach, don't think you will be accepted because you bring in negativity into what they enjoy. All right? And it doesn't just happen. It has happened in the Bible before. Men of God have been beaten, stripped naked, just trying to prove a point. Paul and Silas was locked up for doing the right thing. So if you really want to preach the gospel, you're gonna be ready. Persecution is part of the gospel. Wow. That's on the part of the pastor. Because what we do, when I newly came into God, I have gone to preach in a bar before. I was almost converted into drinking because they are all spirits. I came with a spirit; they have their own spirit. I was almost converted back. When you come into a bar and you were formerly a good drinker, and now you come into a bar, and then the enemy will position your favorite brand. If it is beer, then we pour that beer, and that golden bubble will start to come up, very chilled, and then until you have that Yoruba cup,
Interesting.
This is experience talking.
I'm telling you, it will bring up some things in you. That's why scripture says, flee every appearance. Just fly.
Run.
And you didn't say fly for the sin, fly for the thing that look like the sin. You understand?
Yeah.
I have suffered that before. I almost said, Madam, give me chair, man, sit down. Person not gonna die. And then they served the drink with my favorite kind of woman. Plumpy, fair, and beautiful.
There you go.
My goodness.
They were out for you.
So I was fighting in between and in between. So I have 2 devils pursuing me at that point. The only thing that saved me was the voice of reasoning. That if you stay here 5 minutes, you are going to be a mockery to the things you have come to preach about. How I left that bar, when I get to heaven, I will ask God high up. Because my whole feet was locked up on the ground, that this beer, something got to come out of it. But by the power of God, I left. So now for the part of Portable.
Yeah.
A lot of people do stuff these days for clout. People do things for social media reasons. For the algorithm, they call it?
Algorithm, yes.
They do that, I also believe that you don't take things to the extreme, because one thing I learned early, the people who taught me entertainment, Basketmart, Basoj, and Alibaba, they taught me how to handle fame early. So now, no matter how big I finally get in this entertainment, it's not going to bother me because I've known how to handle fame. Because fame is a flower. It fades in the evening. So when it fades, what happened to you? Because before you do anything as a famous person, why have you not asked yourself about people who came before you? What happened to them? Do you get what I'm saying? So when you take things to the extreme because you're famous, fame is a facade. It's not real. Unfortunately, a lot of celebrities live under that falsehood. And now when you begin to have problems, you can't come out to say. You know, now when you become a celebrity, you run away from people. You block people. You say, why? For value. They see you less, they value you. And then your fame start to fade. And now you are looking for people. Who are you going to gather people? So I feel it is not a very good thing for you to take things to the extreme. In all things, do with moderation and do with reasoning.
All right, before we let you go, I need to ask this question, because for someone who's done this for over 19 years, I think you have a lot to say about it, right?
Yeah.
And it has to do with stand-up comedy, because we used to know those we can call back in the days that do this thing. But now it's looking as though almost anybody can get in there and be a stand-up comedian. We see people who do skits now jump on stage just because the person is popular or gets some moments of fame on social media. You see them jump on stage and all that. What's your take on almost labeling almost anybody who's funny now a stand-up comedian, especially those who are into skit making?
The highest form of comedy, the highest level of comedy is stand-up comedy. You know, have different branches, like the skit, like the slapstick, like all those ones. But the highest form of it is stand-up comedy. You know why? Because you are standing before people whose state of mind you don't know. And they expect you to change them from where they are to where they really want to be with your act. So it's not going to be possible for a skit maker to be a stand-up. Yeah, you can be a stand-up and be a skit maker. The difference is those who started with live band and those who started with the studio music. If your entrance into music is just basically studio, you cannot survive live band. With all due respect, look at Flavor. Flavor started from a live band, so now that is also being seen in his studio work. You know, so you get to learn from stand-up comedy, and then from there you branch off to any other form of comedy you want to do. That's why you discover that a lot of the skit makers, when you put them on stage, they can't flow because it's a different act. People will invite you because you have social media followership. And then when they put you on stage, now what happens? Do you understand?
Yeah.
But if you put a stand-up comedy, you put a camera before him, he will act. All right? He will act because he's inside. And again, majority, at 60% of the skit have watched. Those are materials that some of us have delivered before.
Oh.
So they just put flesh to
recycle
it. Those are materials that Alibaba have cracked, Basket, Agoda, myself, Gandoki, and the rest of the people have cracked before. All right? So now you're going into a new era with a new freshness, which is good. All right? My own take is, when you are into skit making, shout out to Brain Jota, who is very creative in that area. When you are into skit making, come with ideas that even the stand-up comedians can take from. Well, then we can have regard and respect for you. Not you taking from us, and now you make more money than the stand-ups, and you think, oh, this is the game. No. You cannot take stand-up comedy from what comedy truly is. And that's why people like Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, no matter what it is, stand-up is stand-up. Every other form of comedy usually come and go. But you see that thing called stand-up, it's like life. It's like the beginning. And then when you are very good at that, every other thing will flow. That's what I think.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So when is the event again?
22nd September.
Just in case you've been carried away by listening to you.
yeah. It is what it is.
22nd September it is.
What it is. 22nd September is a deal. I can't wait myself. Yeah, I get to jet out of the country, and I need some nice clothes to wear. That's what they don't call me Berlusconi for nothing.
Actually.
Hey, da.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
Godons, thank you for being here.
Thank you for the honor. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.